Awesome. Well, hello everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Shada and I are super excited to be partnering with Upswell once again and talk to you all about the impact of small dollar donors in digital fundraising. So just a quick announcement, if you all have any questions, please drop them in the Q&A section on your chat screen. We'll circle back to the end and answer your questions. So we'll have like a little Q&A portion towards the end. So my name is Giovanni Quintanilla. You can all call me Gio. I use the he, him series pronouns. I'm based in Washington, D.C., and I'm an outreach associate here at ActBlue. Shada, would you like to introduce yourself?
Awesome. Thanks so much, Gio. My name is Shada, y'all. I'm loving this weather commentary in the chat. I also am on the Movement Issues and Charitable Organizations team with Gio, and I work specifically with racial justice organizations. I use she, her pronouns.
Awesome. So before we get started with our icebreaker, we would love for you all to please fill out our registration form. It's a quick form just to get to know you all a little bit better, hear what brought you all here. And yeah, so if you have your phone handy, you can scan the QR code. If not, Shada will drop the link in the chat. We'll give you all a few seconds to get that. All right. So to kick things off, we have a quick icebreaker. So if you could let us know your name, pronouns, location, and the question is, what was your first or best experience in asking for money? So you can drop your answers in the chat. So again, name, pronouns, location, and what was your first or best experience in asking for money? So we'll give you all a few seconds to answer. Drop your answers in the chat. Very awesome. So Shada, you were selling chips.
Yeah, I don't know why it's like a vivid memory for me of like having to ask people that I didn't know at this event because we were fundraising for something and we were selling chips to do that.
Amazing. I remember selling gift wrap. So that was my first time asking
really?
for. Yeah.
Exactly. And thank you to the folks who already at the beginning started sharing a little bit more about themselves, just so we have a sense of who is in the room. Even if folks don't necessarily want to share out loud your first or best experience in asking for money, definitely just reflect internally, because I think when we talk about fundraising, a lot of things come up. And so it's good to have that kind of framework with this question.
Awesome. So Melissa Monzo says, she's from Sacramento, California. My first experience asking for money was a 17-year-old asking people to buy raffle tickets for the nonprofit I was working with, Scala. Amazing. That's awesome. All right, these are coming in. So Cassie, let's see, she's from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm new to fundraising professionally, but I have a memory of selling Girl Scout cookies. Classic. Yes, awesome. All right. Well, thank you all so much for your answers. These were all amazing. So we'll go ahead and continue. All right, so I'm gonna pass things off to Shada so she can tell you all a little bit more about ActBlue.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Gio, and thanks for the folks continuing to throw things in the chat. To start us off, I want to ask this question: what is ActBlue? What are we doing here? And why are we so excited to be in this room with all of you to talk about digital fundraising and small dollar donors? To start, we're a nonprofit, mission-based organization that works to make sure that our movements are funded by small dollar donors. We truly believe that small dollar donors can make their voices heard and have an impact on the campaigns and organizations we're all a part of in moving and transforming our society forward. Gio and I, as part of the movement's Issues and Charitable Organizations team, do this work every day in supporting nonprofits in different issue areas, build out their digital fundraising programs, and we're super excited to start that conversation with you all here today. Perfect. I kind of touched on this, but this is really the crux of what we do. Our goal is to build this really powerful fundraising technology and infrastructure so that we can have our neighbors, people down the street, small dollar donors feel empowered in fueling the moments and transformation that we need to see in our society. We want folks to feel connected to the causes that they already care about and are working to build the true tools to build that society we all want to see. And again, that's why we're really excited to be here today. Small dollars, big change. We truly believe that small dollar donors offer an alternative path. We no longer know that we have to rely on mega donors or large kind of corporate power structures that we used to in the past. We can actually see that we are building stronger movements now together, using small dollar donors and this kind of growing small dollar online movement that we're seeing in funding and sustaining our movements over time. We're also seeing on our end at ActBlue that the small dollar donor movement extends beyond just presidential candidates. From our 2021 data, we actually saw that donors weren't just motivated by political causes, and over 50% of our first-time donors on ActBlue last year gave their first contribution to a nonprofit or non-federal campaign or organization. We're seeing such an incredible growth and depth of this movement of small dollar donors across the board, and we want you all to be a part of that, which is why we're here to talk about it today. I'm going to toss it over to Gio now to talk exactly about the why and how we can access and optimize the small dollar donor movement.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shada. So why focus on small dollars? Small dollars, yeah, sorry. I would like to make the argument that small dollar donor benefits aren't just a gateway to larger contributions, and that these relationships should be cultivated like a big donor. It's about valuing all people as important stakeholders in your work. And here at ActBlue, we believe that if you want to build a truly successful program, you'll need to value them just as much as your donors who write huge checks. There's no limit to the number of small dollar donors that your organization could have. As long as you work on connecting with them and building those intentional relationships, this is a resource that never taps out. Small dollar donors build people-powered movements. They are often the people most affected by your cause, which makes them some of your most invested supporters. It's important to remember they're not a commodity or an ATM. They're actual stakeholders in your work. These are the folks that not only give money, but they sign your petition, they call their representatives, they attend protests and your events, volunteer, and take action. They won't just sign a check and leave. They're here to support their communities for the long haul. So in practice, this just means building intentional relationships with your donors by engaging them with in your emails, on social media, and in virtual live events. Small dollar donors can also be those that sustain your organization. Building a recurring program helps build a base of sustainable donors. Whether you're a newly formed or well-established organization, recurring donors builds the base of sustaining your work. And if you want to implement this in your own digital fundraising program, Shade is going to tell you how to get started.
Awesome. Thank you, Gio. So if you've heard anything today that kind of made you say, this is exciting, this is something that maybe my organization has started thinking about, but are really ready to start exploring more fully, we want to get you all set up and get started to begin working with us as we build this movement together. To get started with an account on ActBlue, it's super easy. We have our sign up link I just dropped in the chat. Y'all can go ahead and click on this, or honestly just Google ActBlue setup and go ahead and click on that blue setup button on the top right of our website. And that's really how we can get started in working together. We've raised over $11 billion on our platform since our founding and are super excited to continue funding these movements and building small dollar digital fundraising programs together. Now, to help you get started, whether or not whatever platform you may be using, we want to also offer some awesome fundraising resources to help activate this small dollar donor movement for your organization. I just dropped these links also in the chat. But we'll start off with our account FAQ support. If you already have an ActBlue account and are wondering, how can I optimize this account? How can I continue to raise more money through our tools? This FAQ support link is going to be great for you. We also have our phenomenal ActBlue blog, which provides a lot of fundraising resources, tips and tricks, thinking about giving season, thinking about end of year. All of that's going to be on our blog, which we update consistently. And then lastly, this is another piece if you already have an account or once you create one, how to really customize your design. We have an awesome video on this link. I absolutely love it. So definitely make sure to check out these resources to help you get started. Now I'm going to kick it over to Gio. This is another plug to utilize this Q&A tab to ask a question. Any question is an amazing question. And so feel free either in the chat or in the Q&A section to start throwing them in. We have about 5-7 minutes to get started on that.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And while we wait for our first question, every question is a good question, like I said. Gio, I can throw one to you that I've been getting a lot.
Sure.
What is your kind of favorite end of year or a Giving Tuesday, either a campaign you've seen or tool you've seen groups use really well? I know we're all thinking about giving season right now, so we'll start off with that.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite things that I've seen recently is the use of our tandem forums. I think it's so nice that like organizations are collaborating and fundraising all together. So just a little bit about our forums. Basically, you can all fundraise. Different organizations can all fundraise on one forum, and all donations are split equally. So it's just really nice to see folks coming together and building each other up with small dollar donors. What about you?
Awesome. That's a great question. I probably should have thought about my answer while you were speaking. But yeah, I definitely do love our tandem forums. My biggest piece of advice for folks would definitely be during this season, folks are looking for organizations to give to, making sure we're running campaigns that are intentional and just writing emails that kind of meet this moment, right? Whatever your organization is working on, folks are looking to be connected and they want to hear from you.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. All right, so it looks like we have some questions. Let's see, Nancy asked, what are some best practices for engaging with small donors?
Absolutely. I would say your donation ask is incredibly important. So making sure you have a strong direct ask when you're asking folks for money, right? Giving a little bit of information about what your organization does and the impact that that donation is going to make, and making that connection really clear, right? We don't want folks guessing, where is my money going? Your $5 donation, can you chip in $5 today so that we can, right, plant X many trees to fight our climate crisis is an example of a really strong direct ask. So anytime you're asking for money, whether that's in your email program, on social media, or even in person, making sure we're making that direct ask is super key.
Yes, for sure. Then we have, can you set up recurring fundraising for small donors, for example, monthly? The answer is yes. Like this is, like, you know, our contribution forms are optimized for monthly recurring donors. Like they'll get a pop-up. We have smart options that can tailor that amount so that it's feasible for folks to make those donations. So yes, absolutely. Like that is our thing. That is our bread and butter. Like we definitely want to build those recurring donors for you all. And like I said, it's what sustains organizations. So absolutely.
Exactly. I love that, Gio. And I'll just add that we have a number of tools to actually convert your one-time donors into recurring donors. So we have a number, I think, Gio, you just mentioned pop-ups, different places to really highlight becoming a recurring donor and the impact that's going to have on our long-term organizing directly on your form. And so, yeah, here at ActBlue, because we're mission-driven, our goal is to continue developing tools to meet the moment and respond to our organization's needs on the ground. And so exactly, whoever said this, anonymous, this is what we're hearing from folks on the ground and why we're working really hard with groups right now on developing specific recurring campaigns to, like Gio said, sustain our movements over time. It's a great question.
Yeah. All right, so it looks like we have 4 minutes left. So if you all want to continue dropping your questions.
We're also going to be giving you all our contact information at the end of this. So if you have any questions that maybe are more specific to your organization, specific to the campaigns that you all are running, it is our full-time job to support organizations like all of you in building these programs and doing this work. We really see ourselves as movement partners in this. So that's also a plug if you don't get your answer question today. Gio, I'll throw this one to you. Are there monthly fees for nonprofits or just transaction fees?
Yeah, so as a nonprofit ourselves, there are no contracts, no monthly fees or any like setup fees. It's just a simple 3.95 transaction fee per donation. So yeah, unless you're, if you're not using the tools, then you're not being charged for anything. And that 3.95% has been optimized for small dollar donors. So in the long run, you are fundraising a lot more. So yeah, just that 3.95 processing fee. All right, and then we have, what is your favorite feature of ActBlue?
Amazing. I would say my favorite feature, it's kind of like a cop-out, but it's really our contribution forms. We have this stat that we like to tell folks. I love to tell folks, our contribution forms have never lost a head-to-head test against another platform. And it's because really and truly our forms have been optimized to convert folks on mobile, convert folks into recurring donors, and are designed to really meet this moment. And so that's what I would say my favorite thing is. Gio, what's yours?
Awesome. Yeah, I think same. I think that is an amazing feature and definitely one that I like to highlight. Let's see. So it looks like we have 2 minutes left. So I'll go ahead and actually share our contact information for you all to have in case there is a question that you would like to ask, separate from our session, so you can always connect with us. So here's our contact information. Again, my name is Giovanni Quintanilla. You can all call me Gio. My email is jquintanilla@actblue.com. So please reach out whenever, and we'd love to help you all set up a digital fundraising program.
Amazing. And I just dropped our contact information in the chat as well. I know there's a number of other questions in the Q&A. Would love to take these questions kind of offline. So feel free to please do reach out.
One last thing, sorry, is we have a feedback form. So if you can all give us some feedback, we'd love to hear from you all, see how we've done. So Shada's going to drop the link in the chat so you can all have access to that. But definitely want to thank you all so much for spending the time with us. I know it was a quick session and we threw a lot of information to you all, but please, like I said, connect with us. We'd love to hear from you all and help out in any way we can with your digital fundraising needs.
Absolutely. And I'll just say again, like Gio said, thank you all so much for the amazing work that you all are doing. We're so excited to be part of this movement and support in the realm of digital fundraising. But it is truly an honor to be able to work with and be in a room with so many phenomenal organizers. Thank you for all the work that you all do here.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much.
Have a great rest of your sessions and day.
Bye.